Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Okay. Happy Tuesday morning to everyone. I hope you guys all had a wonderful holiday yesterday, a wonderful sober holiday yesterday. If you are new here, what's up? My name's Nikki Pludre. You can call me Nikki or Nicole. I answer to both. And I'm a person in recovery. I've been sober since July 13th of 2015. I got sober through a combination of therapy and medication-assisted treatment. I'm what you would call a polysubstance abuser. I was addicted to multiple drugs. I was addicted to methamphetamine, intravenous oxys, intravenous cocaine, and benzodiazepines. And I got sober when my little boy was taken from me by Child Protective Services back in 2015. And this account here on Facebook is just where I share my knowledge about addiction, and then I share about my personal recovery journey in hopes to inspire others and help other people that might be struggling with addiction, even family members who love somebody who is struggling with addiction. The purpose of this account is to help, share my journey and help educate other people. So I thought I would pop on this morning and share some motivation with you guys. So for those of you guys that don't know, I started a health journey it was probably in November of last year. In November of 2023, I went to my parents' house, and my dad had been really concerned about my health because I was 250 pounds and I'm only 5'4". And so my dad was really concerned about my health, and he was like, let me prick your finger and check your blood sugar because I think you have diabetes. And me being stubborn like I am, right? Number one, I'm stubborn. Number two, I hate going to the doctor. Every time I would go to the doctor, as a person that struggled with their weight, every time I would go, the doctor would bring up my weight, and it would just make me not want to go to the doctor. So I stopped going to the doctor for 3 years. And so my dad was like, let me prick your finger. I need to see for my own peace of mind that you're not diabetic. I was like, fine, Dad, fine. Okay. So my dad pricked my finger, checked my blood glucose, and it was off the Richter scale. It was 499. For any of you guys that have diabetes or know anything about blood glucose, that is fucking terrible. Okay? So my dad immediately went into panic mode. Oh my God, you need to go to the emergency room. Oh my God, you need to go now. Freaking out, right? And I was like, Dad, I've made it this far in life and I haven't dropped dead yet. I'll make an appointment with my doctor. So I called and I made an appointment with my doctor, and I went in to see him in November, and I ended up getting diagnosed with diabetes. My A1C was 11. Now, I had been struggling with my weight since I got sober in 2015. I got sober in 2015 and I was 160 pounds, which for me is a normal healthy weight. Okay. Once I got sober, I found myself in this mindset that I was afraid to leave the house. I was afraid to go out and be social. What if I ran into my drug dealer? Because a lot of the times that I relapsed in the past was just fluke. I would just be out and about and I would run into my drug dealer and he would be like, hey girl, here's a free pack. Here's some free Xanax bars. Here's a free line. All the time. It always happened to me like that. So, when I got sober in 2015, I was fighting for custody of my son. I was afraid to leave the house. I was like, if I leave the house, I'm going to run into my drug dealer. I'm going to relapse. I'm going to lose custody of my son forever, right? So I didn't want to do anything. So what ended up happening is I ended up really withdrawing into myself. and I created social media, and I used social media as an outlet, but I wasn't getting out and exercising and moving my body or any of that. And I ended up gaining so much weight in sobriety. I went from 160 pounds to 250 pounds. I gained 90 pounds in sobriety. Okay? And so it was probably like halfway to 90 pounds. I had probably gained like 40 pounds. And it was around 2019. And I knew I had a problem. I've always struggled with my weight. Before I even started doing drugs, my first addiction was to food. Yeah. My first addiction was not drugs. My first addiction was food. And so I've always struggled with my ability to eat regular portions. Like, I love to eat. I love to overindulge. Okay? And so that's me right now, and I hate it. I think about using all the time because I lost so much weight while I was using. Oh man, I totally understand that, Madeline, for real. So you're okay. So listen, I'm going to help you, okay? I'm going to help you guys out. If you struggle like I did, I'm going to help you out. So I was scared to leave the house because I was like, if I go out, if I leave the house, I'm going to get high. And I really withdrew into myself. I started social media, and I used social media as an outlet, but I was not taking care of my body. And I want you guys to hear me when I tell you this. In early sobriety especially, it's so important for you to be taking care of not only your mind, but your body as well. And or else you will end up like me, and you will become diabetic. Okay? Hey, Andrew, that's great. I'm so proud of you, dude. 24 days is an amazing accomplishment. Keep with it. Don't give up, okay? Stay the course. Stay the course. So after I gained like the first 40 pounds, right? 45, 50 pounds, I knew that I needed to do something different. And so I started trying, right? I would start these like diets, and then I would fall off. And that was the constant thing for me, is I would start something and then I wouldn't be able to finish it. I would start the diet, I would start the exercise, and then I would get discouraged because I wouldn't see the results, right? Hey, Mom, love you. That's my mom, you guys, Gina. So shout out to my mama. I'm not. You've been a huge motivation and inspiration for me. Proud of you so much. Oh, Andrew, I'm really proud of you too, man, for real. I know how hard it is to get away from methamphetamine. I know how hard it is to change. The main thing I can give you some suggestions about is you gotta change all the people around you. Methamphetamine is a kind of drug that the people that get on it, they stay on it, and they stay hooked to it for a long, long, long time. And so you got to change your circle. All the people who are surrounding you, if they're using, get them out of your life. Okay? If you need to relocate to a place where you can start fresh, do that. It don't hurt any, right? At the end of the day, you can't run away from yourself, but I will tell you, like, having a fresh start in a fresh new place, it helped me a lot. You know what I mean? Can you help me with relapse and the guilt and shame, also with withdrawal? Sure, Shay. Okay, I'm trying to read y'all's comments. Sorry, y'all. Silent follower, but I love your videos. Been clean for 6 years. Oh, wow, that's amazing. I'm really proud of you, girl. Congratulations. 6 years is huge. Hey, Mandy, what's up, girl? Been clean 9 months. Thank you, Beth. I appreciate y'all. You already know the setting, and people are like, I had to block a lot of good friends, but they are stuck on it. I can't live like that anymore. Yeah, I'm telling you, I understand. I came from a city called Hot Springs, Arkansas, where I'm going to drift from my content, what I was talking about the weight real fast, you guys, and we'll come back to that. So stick a pin in the weight, okay? I'm going to talk to you guys about methamphetamine addiction and the black hole, okay? The black hole of meth addiction in small town America. I came from a city called Hot Springs, Arkansas, the black hole of Arkansas, in my opinion. It has turned into a cesspool of crime and meth. Okay? And what happens there is it's a small enough town to where everybody knows everybody. And when you make mistakes, they follow you forever there. Nobody's going to forget because everybody knows, right? And so when I made my huge mistakes in my addiction to methamphetamine in Hot Springs, I was caught with meth in my car, made the front page of the newspaper like I was one of the biggest dealers in Hot Springs. I was a literal user. I was a low-level user. I had never dealt drugs in my life. But you would have thought that I was like running game or something on the front page of the Sentinel Record in Garland County, Arkansas, Hot Springs, Arkansas. And so when I made my mistake there, it followed me. It followed me, and the people follow you. And it's the same kind of people who, like, generations after generations after generations of broken, sick people, right? That never break free from those chains. And so if you're going to be a person who's going to break free from the chains, you have to separate yourself from those people. And that was one of the hardest things for me, was to start all over again and separate myself. My family still lives there, but I don't go to Hot Springs a lot because it brings back memories to me of what I was like when I was in my past, you know? And I still see so many people who I used to use drugs with who are still stuck using drugs in the same spot when I left, you know? And so you want to really be successful in your recovery. You have to want it for yourself, and you have to disconnect and take your life and totally inside it out. You know, like everything that I thought that I knew that was my constant in Hot Springs was turned upside down, and I had to start totally fresh and anew, you know, and it saved my life. It helped me start new, and it helped save my life. My question is it normal to have really bad anxiety after meth use? I never had anxiety ever in my life, but after being sober 6 years, it has gotten really bad. A lot of people have anxiety after getting off meth. Methamphetamine affects your central nervous system, okay? Where anxiety, right? So absolutely 100%. There's things that you can do to help your anxiety, like meditation, journaling. Like I was telling you guys before about getting outside and walking and getting exercise for your body. Like that will really, really help you to get that anxiety out of you. But yeah, totally normal. Do the using dreams ever go away? You know what I say about using dreams, Aram? To me, using dreams are like my subconscious trying to tell me that I need to work on something. Okay, so if I have using dreams, especially because I've been sober for a really long time, right? Almost 9 years. July 13th will be 9 years away from drugs and alcohol. When I have a using dream now, to me, it's a warning. It's something that's telling me, hey, you got too much stress on your plate. Hey, you need to do something different. Something's on your mind. And so, what's going on in your life? What are you stressed about? Do you have some outside issue that you haven't handled yet that is kind of haunting you and making you not be able to sleep good at night? Because that's what I think it is. That's just my opinion, though. That's not a proven fact or anything like that, okay? But I think it's like a way to like warn us, to keep us on our toes. And so, do the using dreams ever go away? I mean, they don't go. I haven't had mine go away completely, but I don't have them as frequently now. Now they just come, like I said, when I have extra stress on my plate, when I'm not plugged in and doing what I need to do, right? Sometimes I like to veer off the beaten path and fuck around and find out. Sometimes I will catch myself doing shit I know I don't got no business fucking doing. You know what I mean? And I'm not talking about doing drugs. I'm just talking about dumbass shit. You know what I mean? Like getting myself in some drama or something. And when I do that, that's when I'll have using dreams. And it's like something to warn me, to say, Bitch, get back on track. You know what I mean? Get your ass back on track. So, but yeah, they get less and less frequent. Less and less frequent and less serious. But instead of looking at having using dreams as a negative thing, look at it as a positive thing and as something that's trying to warn you and tell you, hey, you need to work on something. You know what I mean? That's what I would do. I would take it as a cue that I have some things that I need to work on. So, but meth addiction is like a very hard substance to not relapse on. And the reason why, and I talked about this in a video a couple weeks ago, the reason why methamphetamine is such a difficult drug to not relapse on is because of how much dopamine it causes your brain to produce when you use it. Okay, so when you're using methamphetamine, it produces 1,000 times more dopamine than any other drug. It produces more dopamine than heroin. It produces more dopamine than fentanyl. It produces more dopamine than cocaine. It produces more dopamine than sex. It produces more dopamine than eating a bar of chocolate. It produces the highest pleasure that you could ever get, okay? And so imagine doing this drug for so many years and reaching this heightened level, right, that nobody else has really experienced unless you've done methamphetamine. And then you stop using the substance. Your body and your brain crash. And it takes years to heal, especially if you're not taking care of your body like I wasn't. Okay, so for years after I got sober, I was eating like shit. I wasn't exercising. I wasn't drinking enough water. And so it took my brain and my body more time to heal than what it would have if I had gotten sober and really taken care of my mind and my body instead of just taking care of my mind, you know? And so that's why it's such a highly relapsable drug, because when a person gets sober from meth, they go through years of depression, years of anxiety. And I'm not saying this to scare people off from getting sober. I'm just being honest with you, and I'm being real. But there's things that you can do to prevent and to encourage your body to heal quicker and your mind to heal quicker. But I had depression, major depression, for 7 fucking years of my sobriety. 7 years, dude. Most people don't make it those 7 years. They relapse because they are so miserable. So miserable. Because you don't feel pleasure like you did, because you went from feeling this pleasure on a level that nobody has ever felt before. Methamphetamine is like, I'm trying to be so fucking for real with y'all. Because especially if you haven't done meth, you will not understand what I'm saying. Okay? It's hard to prevent relapse. Been trying to get off for 2 years. This is the first time I went almost a month without relapse. I have faith this time though. Yeah. And like, honestly, you just have to push through it. Can you make a video to a parent from the one hooked on meth? To a parent. Sure. You just have to push through it. Like, you have to hold on and say, okay, this time I don't want to go back to it. Like, you have to want to be sober more than you enjoyed getting high. Like, you really have to want to change, because it's easier just to go back and relapse. You know what I mean? So you have to want to change and to keep pushing forward. For me, I wanted to change because I didn't want to lose my son. And that was a huge mitigating factor for me that kept me on the sober train. You know what I mean? I don't think if I didn't have a child, I don't think I would have been able to stop. You know what I mean? Because that's how depressing and how tired and how lethargic I felt after getting off of meth. You know? And you guys have to understand, like, I wasn't just coming off meth. I was coming off opioids and benzos and cocaine. Like, I was on multiple drugs. But meth has been the hardest drug for me to overcome and stay away from. You know what I mean? It really has. Because to me, it's so enticing to want to go back because of the energy that it would give me. You know, because it would give me energy, because it made me feel productive. And that's where I think a lot of people struggle with methamphetamine, because the stimulant aspect of it is it gives you when you're able to control your intake, it does give you those benefits, right? But then what happens is you lose control. At least that's been my experience. And I would lose control, right? I would lose control of my use, and I would overuse. And so any benefit that I was getting went out the window, because what would happen? I would stop eating for days. I would go into motherfucking hallucinations for a week. Okay, I would see people and hear people that weren't really there. And that's where the addicted mind tells you, oh, it's going to be different this time. This time, I'll just do it a little, you know what I mean? And I'll go and I'll do my work, and I'll do my da-da-da, and I'll ba-ba-ba. For me, it always started like that. Oh, I'll just do a little bump. I'll be able to go to work. I'll have energy. I'll be in a better mood. That's how it always started. Now what I have to tell myself is, bitch, you know what a bump's going to lead to. A bump's going to lead to a shot. I can't just do a bump. I can't just do one shot. And then after a shot, I'm going to do another shot. And then I'm out of my fucking mind, you know? And so, Nathaniel, my son, saved my life. You know, he made me realize that my life I had to want better for myself so I could give better for him. Now I would never think about doing drugs. It doesn't. I would never risk my sobriety now. Ever. I love my son more than life itself. I would never, ever, ever go back. You couldn't pay me to go back. I don't care how much energy it gives me. I don't care how good it made me feel. I don't care how awesome the sex was. You know, like, I don't care. I don't care. I don't want to risk my child's life and the life I have today and the life that I have built today for my son, you know? Not to mention all the drama that comes with it. Yes, because if you guys have ever been in the meth game and you've ever been in the meth world, you guys know that it's not just, hey, let me get some and then you go on about your business. Like, you're there at the dope cook's house for like a whole day, you know? And if you were anything like me, you're fucking basically manufacturing with him. You're the cook assistant. You know what I mean? At least that's how it was for me. I was the damn assistant to the cook. So I can't just get in. I can't just get in and get out. You know what I mean? Like, I'm in there manufacturing and I'm like I'm in deep. I'm in deep. Yeah, the damn sous chef. That's right. That's right. My friend, Nate, he'll probably see this video, but he just got out of prison and, I was his sous chef. And he called to let me know that he had just gotten out and that he was at the halfway house. And he goes, when you tell those stories, are you talking about me? And I'm like, who else would I be talking about, motherfucker? Who else was I in the trailer cooking dope with? Yeah, you. But I laugh about it now, you guys, because it's funny now. I can look back on that time and realize that, those were things that I was doing because I was not in my right mind, right? But what I'm trying to tell you guys is that if you don't ever start doing it, you don't have to worry about it. You know what I mean? And that's more or less the message that I want to convey to people that have not used meth. If you don't ever try, you don't ever have to worry about becoming hooked. Because I promise you, if you do use meth, you will be hooked. Like, I can almost guarantee it. It's just like not, sorry about that, guys. It's just not a drug that you're going to interact with and get out unscathed. Like, it's going to take your fucking soul. Okay? It's going to take your soul. And that's what it does. It takes your fucking soul, bro. And I'll show you guys some pictures. Oh, let me see. I got my other phone so I can show y'all. I'll show y'all some pictures of my, you know what? I bet you I can pull them up on my computer so y'all can really see good. I want to show you guys some pictures of me when I was in my meth addiction, okay? And, no, I'm not signing in Instagram there. I'm going to show y'all some pictures of me when I was in my meth addiction, okay? And what I mean by this is you can see that my soul was out of my body. And I know that sounds really, like, God, damn, Nicole, are you serious? But I'm serious. Soulless. The blackness of the eyes, okay? Like, you can see there's no pupil. It's just black. Okay? Let me show y'all another picture. Like, stop calling me, please. God, I hate when people do that. Sorry, y'all. Like, you can just see. To me, I can see it. I don't know if you guys can see it. But to me, the eyes look soulless. You know? They look deep and dark and sadness. Like, to me, that looks like the sadness. You know? So, anyway. That's me in active addiction. Totally possessed. Absolutely. My mom is in here, you guys. That's my mom, Gina. For those of you guys that don't know my mom, she can totally vouch for my soullessness because she's seen it firsthand. My mom also had to see me in hallucination. My mom also had to see me lose the ability to control my limbs, my arms and my legs and my body when I just could not control my extremities. They would jerk, and I don't know how to explain it. My mom can explain it better, but I had no control over my limbs, over the movements of my body would just be like, I can't explain it, but, and I couldn't stop it. Like, I would just have no control, you know? I feel so terrible that I put my family through that, and that they had to see me like that, you know? I think back to, it's been so many years. Not, like I said, 9 years have passed, and I've been in recovery for a long time, 9 years. But when I look back on that time and I remember it, like, I feel so guilty, and I feel so much shame, like deep amount of shame, because I drug my parents through the mud. And now that I'm a parent, I think about how it would feel to see your child not being able to be okay in their body, like their body hurting them and them hurting themselves, you know? I don't know how I would be able to handle that. I wouldn't be able to handle it. I would lose my damn mind. And so my parents are fucking like miracles. They're angels. The fact that they're still married, miracle. You know what I mean? The fact that they didn't, just abandon me and my sister, because it wasn't just me in active addiction. it was me and my sister Michelle. So there's three of us, me, Michelle, and Christine. I'm the oldest. Michelle's the middle. Christine's the baby. And me and my sister Michelle were in active addiction together. Like we were both using around the same time. We both got sober a couple of years apart, but pretty much around, like 2 years apart or something. But like I think to like my son now and what it would be like to see him in that position, I couldn't handle it. I would be devastated, and so I feel for people who love somebody who struggles with addiction. To me, loving someone who struggles with addiction is the hardest thing that I've ever done in my life, because I'm also a person in recovery, but I also am married to a person in recovery. And my husband relapsed in 2020, and it was one of the hardest experiences I've ever been through. So let me take y'all back real fast to what I was saying about getting diagnosed with diabetes, okay? And so I was trying to explain to you guys about staying motivated on your journey to health and wellness, okay? And so, because my sister called me this morning and told me she was quitting. She was giving up on her weight loss journey. And the bitch hadn't even been on a weight loss journey for 3 weeks. And I was like, oh, hell no. You ain't giving up. Okay? You're not giving up. And so what I was telling my sister is, we are so used to seeing instant gratification, especially those of us who struggle with addiction, that when we start our health journey, we expect to be healthy in a couple days, right? Oh, I've been doing this for a week. I should be 10 pounds skinnier now. The first month that I started my health journey, I didn't lose 1 pound. I didn't lose 1 pound. Okay? What I did, and this is how I stayed motivated, was I downloaded an app, and my friend Ashley is the one who told me about this app. It's called the Me 360 app. What it does is it takes pictures and scans your body. I would take a picture of my body once a week, and I would compare the scans, and I was seeing the inches go down. I wasn't losing weight, but the inches were coming off. If you are starting a journey, and you need to, if you're a drug addict and you're just getting sober, you might as well do this at the same time. You might as well start doing your health and your mind for your addiction and your body for your health. 2 birds with 1 stone, okay? Start doing it now. So that way you don't find yourself like me, 9 years down the road, 100 pounds overweight and diagnosed with diabetes. A1C at 11. Okay? I'm only 42 years old, you guys. All right? I was morbidly obese, over 100 pounds overweight. All right? So the first month was really not anything. I didn't see any results. And so, in fact, I didn't see any results for like 45 days. And so if you're starting your health journey and your goal is to get healthier and lose weight, even if you don't need to lose weight and you're just trying to get healthier, and you're like, try to remember that it's not going to happen overnight, and that you got to stay motivated and stay consistent. So that's what, just like with sobriety, okay? When you're putting your days together, right? It's only 1 day at a time. You're not going to get 675 days sober in 1 day. It's 1 day at a time. And it's the same thing with your health journey. It's 1 day at a time. And consistency in health is important. The longer you stay consistent with your changes, the longer you do that, you'll start seeing the results on the long end. It's a long game. It's not a short game, right? You have to keep going, and then you'll start seeing the results. So when I started in December with my healthy eating and my walking, it took, like I said, over 30 days for me to really start losing weight and seeing the results. But once I started losing weight, the weight started coming off. And now I'm 62 pounds down. You know what? I haven't lost any weight in 30 days. In 30 days, I've been the same weight. I got really discouraged. What's wrong? Why am I stuck at this plateau? I need to up my exercise. My calories are great. I'm sticking at my calorie deficit, but my exercise, I haven't been doing my exercise like I was doing. I was walking every day over 10,000 steps a day, 4 or 5 miles a day, and it was such a good thing for me. I fell off and I stopped walking as much. Because of that, it's slowed down my weight loss. And so, there's going to be like ups and downs on your health journey, but you just got to get plugged back in and stay consistent. If you fall off and you stop exercising, or you have a couple of times where you binge, this is another lesson I had to learn. Is just because you make a mistake once doesn't mean it ruins all your progress. Okay? So probably like a month ago, I had a bad night where I overate. Like I ate a bunch and it made me really sick. I overate. I caught myself binging, and I got really upset the next day. The next day in my mind, I was like, I'm quitting. I'm just going to quit. I basically was in my mind telling myself that I just gained 62 pounds back by having one binge. And I was ready to throw it all away because I binged one time. And I had to sit down and really think about it. Bitch, you lost 62 pounds. 62 pounds isn't going to come back from one binge. I would have to consistently keep binging, right? And so I snapped myself out of it. Like, get back on track. Stay consistent. And I got right back on track, and I didn't let that mistake and that binge take me back, right? Because that's how mental this is with binging and relapsing on drugs. It's all a mental game. You have to have that strength within your mental, okay? To tell yourself, okay, so what? I fucking picked up. It was one day I picked up. It doesn't mean if I threw away all 17 years of my sobriety, or 2 years, or 30 days. Like, don't allow your mental to override you, okay? Because that's what a lot of people do. And then they throw away everything for one small mistake. One mistake. So that's what I have to tell myself with my health journey, is like, okay, so you made a mistake. Big deal. Get back on. Get back on your consistency. There's no shame in making mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes, So, anyways, I hope you guys, I hope this video helped you in some way. Whether you're doing a health journey or whether you're trying to get sober, like, staying consistent is the key. And making a small mistake, a little blip, doesn't throw away all the progress that you made. Okay? I don't get down with the AA and the NA, just so y'all know, okay? That's not my gig. I don't believe in it. I don't support it. I don't do that. I don't believe that you're an addict forever. I don't believe that you can't heal from addiction. I believe you can heal and grow past your addiction. Okay? I don't believe that you have to start your time over because you made a mistake. I believe that is like self-defeating. This is what I have to say to that. If you're running a marathon and you're 5 miles into this marathon and you trip and fall down and skin your knee, do you get back up and turn around and go back to the starting line to start over because you made a mistake 5 miles into the fucking race? Or do you pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and keep pounding the fucking pavement? Why the fuck would you start over again? Get back up and push on. Okay? Those ways that have been being taught to you for so many years, they're self-defeating, and I don't believe in them. So if you're struggling and you've made a mistake, whether it be your recovery journey or your health journey, pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and keep pounding the pavement, because nobody else is coming to save you but you. You have to pull yourself up and make the changes. So, anyways, I hope you guys got something out of this video. I hope it helped you in some way. If it did, and you enjoy my content, please think about following me on my other social media platforms. I just linked them in the comment section for you guys. I also have an Etsy store with recovery necklaces that I sell. And yeah, I really appreciate you guys supporting me and watching my content. And I love y'all, and I'll see y'all later, okay? All right. Bye, you guys.